Roll out the red carpet and get out your acceptance speech because we have your Backstage Pass to Hollywood. Backstage Pass starts now.
In 5,
4.
3, 2,
Are you ready?
Bonjour, honey. Welcome back to Backstage Pass, where we give you the scoop on all things entertainment. My name is Lucas Alvin.
And my name is Patrick O'Hara, but you already knew that, I hope. First and foremost, happy Black History Month. Let's give a round of applause. Now, as you may know, love is in the air, and so is this new episode of Backstage Pass. But I'm not really feeling the Valentine spirit.
Well, I am. I finally made it to 2026 after that stunt that Genesis pulled last week, which we'll learn more about during Backstage Asks. But I kind of feel reborn, so let's not waste any more time and lovingly leap into all things entertainment.
Entertainment? Like my dating life? Aw, shucks, Lucas. I may not have a date this Valentine's Day, but I do have a date with the hilariously iconic Terry Joe. Do y'all remember the TikTok sensation Iconic, also known as Keelan Campbell, but better known as Terry Joe? No? Well, for context, during the pandemic in 2020, Campbell began live streaming on TikTok under the persona of various characters, such as Georgia Peach, Amethyst Jade, and most popularly, Terry Joe, a devout Christian woman whose life passion is spreading the word of the Lord. The character went viral in 2021 and even went live with celebrities such as Doja Cat, Madonna, Trisha Paytas, and more. Then, in 2025, it was announced that Terry Joe will be receiving a movie of her own. And on January 30th, that movie finally released. The to-be production titled Terry Joe, Missionary in Miami follows the Louisiana-based Terry Joe as she flees to Miami in hopes of escaping a group of wacky criminals that are after her. While in Miami, Terry finds herself in various crazy situations, seeking church to repent for her sins. However, she soon realizes she's being followed. The film also features Keelan's characters Georgia Peach and Jade Amethyst, who give Terry a holy trip she'll never forget.
Love can be present in all types of circumstances, but I think overcoming conflict is truly the most meaningful form of it. And that's honestly how it feels to be excited for the upcoming film titled Coyote vs. Acme. Allow me to explain. Back in 2018, Warner Brothers announced a film set to stream on HBO Max, where famous Looney Tunes character, Wile E. Coyote, sues the Acme Corporation for providing him with faulty products over the years. Fast forward to 2023, and Rolling Stone reported that Warner Brothers had decided to vault this completed film and use the production cost as a tax write-off. Additionally, other high-budget films were shelved alongside it, such as Batgirl and Scooby Holiday Hunt. The decision was made due to a shift in Warner Brothers' strategy that focused on theatrical releases. Years went by with fans and entertainers advocating for the film to come out, including Eric Balza, who voiced several characters. Finally, in 2025, Deadline reported that Ketchup Entertainment was wrapping up a deal that would allow them to distribute the film. And now we're here, finally getting it. Coyote vs. Acme is set to release in the US theaters on August 28th.
All right, my fellow romance book lovers, this next story is for you. And for this one, we're taking it back to high fashion Regency London with season 4 of Netflix's Bridgerton. Now, for those unfamiliar, each season follows a Bridgerton as they seek love during the marriage season. In this particular season, we follow Benedict Bridgerton, who at first is against his mother's wishes of settling down. That is until he attends the first ball of the season and encounters a mysterious lady in silver, who of course catches his eye. But as quickly as she appears, she vanishes. And Benedict can't seem to get her off his mind. That is until he meets Sophie Bake, who is actually the lady in silver. Only Benedict doesn't know because outside of the ball, she's just a maid who's just lost everything. And in this period, cross-classing is highly frowned upon. It could very well destroy his reputation and the Bridgerton title, of course. He attempts to steer his sister away, he sends to steer his heart, away from the idea of this lady in silver, but something about Sophie pulls him in. If you're interested in the Cinderella story, you can check out part 1, which released January 29th, and you can check out part 2 when it drops February 26th.
Aw, Patrick, that sounds like such a romantic story. You're really lifting up the Valentine spirit this episode. So let me try to ruin it by talking about a funny movie with sheep. That being the film titled The Sheep Detectives, based on the 2005 novel 3 Bags Full by Leon Swan. This story is about a shepherd, played by Hugh Jackman, who reads murder mystery stories to his herd while pretending they understand him. The thing is, they do. When their shepherd is found dead, they get together to find who did it already. This film is giving high hope. The sheep seem to have the nice balance on not looking too cartoonish, while also not looking oddly realistic either. As for the story, this just screams of a fun, family-friendly movie to sit down and enjoy. The Sheep Detectives bah into theater on May 8th.
Bah, I'm still struggling getting into the Valentine spirit, but perhaps this next film might do the trick. If you are seated for a movie with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, then Wuthering Heights will be your fancy. The story is loosely based on Emily Brant's 1874 novel of the same name. This film follows the tragedy that falls when Heathcliff, played by Jacob Elordi, falls in love with Catherine Earnshaw, played by Margot Robbie, a wealthy 18th century England woman. It's worth noting that this isn't just a romance story. In fact, it's multifaceted, with many layers of gender inequality, classism, and more. Did I mention that the soundtrack is also produced by Charlie XCX? You can check out both the film and soundtrack for yourself on February 13th.
Okay, I think it's time to finally talk about a love story for this Valentine's episode. So with that, I introduce to you 2025 film titled A Useful Ghost. This dark comedy from Thailand follows Nat, a woman who dies from a dust pollution-related respiratory illness. She returns as a ghost to haunt her husband as a vacuum cleaner, but not in a bad way. She instead takes care of him, comforting him while he grieves and protecting him from the illness that killed her. Nat's in-laws disapprove of the situation. Will she gain their acceptance? You'll have to watch to see. The film is regarded for its unique political and social metaphors. Additionally, it received high praise at various international film festivals. You can watch A Useful Ghost on select streaming platforms now.
A Useful Ghost? That sounds like my DMs, and not a movie, actually. But you know who isn't ghosting me? Our good friend Maddie Green, who's here to keep us company in this new installment of So Boom.
Hello, lovers, haters, and people who don't believe in Valentine's Day but are still very much here. Happy Black History Month! My name is Maddie Green, and welcome back to So Boom, where I retell movies the only way I know how, with feelings, chaos, and a little romantic trauma. Today, because it's Valentine's Day soon, we're talking about the rom-com that taught us that love is complicated, poetry is dangerous, and high school dating rules are unhinged. 10 Things I Hate About You. So Boom, let's set the scene. We're at a high school where the popular girls are perfect, the boys are trying too hard, and there's one major problem. Bianca Stratford can't date until her older sister Kat does. And Kat does not do dating. She's smart, sarcastic, and has zero patience for people or their nonsense. Low-key same, iconic behavior. So boom, Cameron James, a new student who just happens to be in love with Bianca like everyone else, comes up with a plan. If someone can date Kat, then Bianca can date too, right? Simple, right? Wrong. Enter Patrick Verona, mysterious, broody, and paid to take Kat out. Yes, paid. Romantic? Not yet. At first, Kat is not feeling him, like at all. But Patrick, he starts trying, like actually trying. Singing on the bleachers, which is low-key embarrassing, trying. Writing poems, trying. Falling hard, trying. And somewhere along the way, fake dating turns into real feelings. But then the truth comes out. Kat finds out Patrick was paid to date her, and her heart shattered. Walls back up. Trust gone. Meanwhile, Bianca learns that just because someone's popular doesn't mean they're good for you. Growth, maturity, character development. In the end, Patrick apologizes. For real this time. No games, no money, just feelings. And Kat, she reads a poem. And that poem breaks everyone. Also, Cameron and Bianca date, which is like, okay, period. Moral of the story, love isn't about games, popularity, or checking boxes. It's about honesty, respect, and letting yourself be vulnerable even when it's scary. And if someone makes you feel seen, heard, and writes you a poem, maybe don't fight that. And that's the tea on 10 Things I Hate About You. This has been So Boom Valentine's Day edition. I'm Maddie. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Black History Month. To everybody black, yup. And don't forget to live, laugh, and love, y'all. Period.
Thanks for not ghosting us, Maddie. 10 things I don't hate about you is so boom. Maybe these puns are why I can't stand the concept of love.
Well, if we're talking about love, then I have to be Lucas Core and talk about something I love dearly. The Japanese metal and visual kei band Dur & Grey, who announced the release of their 12th studio album titled Mortal Downer, set to release on April 8th. While next to no information is known regarding the album's content, we do know it will include 13 tracks, a fitting number for the band. For those that are unfamiliar with Dur & Grey, also known as Normal People, the band uses new albums as a way to evolve and provide viewers with something different. These changes often include the lyrical themes, instrumentals, and visual presentation. I'm beyond excited to see what they do next, but hey Patrick, aren't you excited about a new release from a beloved artist too?
Yeah, and speaking of beloved and deeply appreciated artists, put on your Sunday best because Nick Jonas has finally released his 5th studio album, titled Sunday Best. This album explores personal growth, introspection, and his journey as a husband and a father. Sonically, the album pulls from his musical roots and years singing in church choirs. The album release was followed by a music video for the lead single Gut Punch, which incorporated a puppet based on Nick titled Jick Jonas, an embodiment of Jonas's inner thoughts and dialogue.
My inner thoughts and dialogue are telling me to wake up, not just because of all the late nighters I've been polling recently, but because Amy Lee, vocalist of the band Evanescence, announced that the band will release a new album this year. On an interview with radio station KROQ, she said, quote, "Have a few more lyrics to write, but it's going very well. I'm really excited about it," end quote. The album is expected to come out earlier this year.
After almost 3 years of waiting, Kim Petras has finally revealed that she has a new album in the works with the title Detour. However, the reveal was not what fans expected at all. On January 20th, Petras took to X to share the following message, saying, quote, "My album has been done for 6 months, but my record label has refused to give me a release date or pay my collaborators for the work they've done. I'm tired of having no control over my life or career. I want to continue to self-fund and self-curate my own music. This is why I formally requested to be dropped by Republic Records," end quote. Petras also went on to reveal why her label isn't supporting her album release, stating there's, quote, "no support if it's not a TikTok trend or 80s revival queerbaiting," end quote. Days later, Petras posted on her Instagram story that she loved her lawyer, and now we finally have an update. While the album is still up in the air, Petras revealed she will be releasing a mini project in the meantime. This will be titled Pre-Tour and will consist of 4 songs total, including fandom-added track Pop Sound. Notably, this project will have a track released weekly, with Pop Sound kicking off, starting today, February 10th, alongside a self-funded visual. However, this project won't be available on streaming, sadly. It will exclusively be available on YouTube only. Thanks for the Valentine's gift, Kim.
Before Patrick recaps on award season later this episode, I want to touch on a funny little thing that's going on over the pond. So every February, there are the Brit Awards, which showcase the best in British pop music for that year. One award given is the Songwriter of the Year award, which last year was awarded to Charli XCX for the massive success on her album Brat. This year, the winner was none other than Noel Gallagher, who came off a wildly successful Oasis Live 25 tour. The issue is, unlike previous winners of the award, Noel hasn't actually wrote anything new recently. In an interview with Talk Sport Radio, Noel said, quote, "I haven't written a song for 2 years. I'm not sure how I've gotten away with that one, but I'll take it. I think the Brits is all based on record sales. I'm not sure there was another single songwriter that we sold 1 million records last year, didn't even get off the couch, and I'm sure there's a songwriter that can match that. But you know, if anybody's got a problem with it, meet me there. We'll have it out on the red carpet," end quote. The whole situation is honestly so hilarious and really highlights how absurd award shows can be, especially with how re-releases are treated.
Okay, you single Pringles. Have you ever wished you can turn an ordinary object into the person of your dreams? Well, Taylor Swift has a solution for you. With the release of the Opalite music video on February 6th, Swift welcomes us to a 90s fantasy where a spray, known as Opalite, transforms a literal rock into the man she's been searching for. The music video features Graham Norton, Cillian Murphy, Jodie Turner-Smith, Greta Lee, Donald Gleason, and Louis Capaldi. Ironically, back in October of 2025, while on the Graham Norton show, Gleason had joked about wanting to be in a Taylor Swift music video. Swift revealed on release day that his joke actually inspired her to create the music video, to which she also got everybody else that was on that same interview to be featured as well. Of course, the release follows the announcement that the Billboard charts will no longer count towards towards streams, to which Swift exclusively released the video on Spotify Premium and Apple Music, and YouTube 2 days later. Long story short, Opalite is available to watch everywhere now. And remember guys, don't be a rock.
Valentine's Day is an interesting holiday. Some love it, others hate it. So we took to LaSalle's campus to ask explorers if they are pro or anti-Valentine's Day in this edition of Backstage Asks.
Hey Explorers, welcome back to Backstage Asks. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, where's everybody else? Never fear, because Lucas is here!
Hello. Ow, I got hit by a door. My name is Lucas Alvin. I think it's the power of love and Yoshiki that got me back.
It is.
So what's the question today?
Today's question is, are you pro or anti-Valentine's Day?
All right, Valentine's Day. It's already February, thankfully. Well, I guess there's only one thing we can do now.
Let's go see what they had to say. Hello there, MVP of Backstage Pass.
Hi, guys.
Can I get your name?
It's Cheyenne. My name is Alex.
My name is Jaden.
I'm Sarah Dougherty. I'm a freshman.
Hi, my name is Grayson.
I'm Dan.
You know, love is in the air, and so is Backstage Asks.
My show is on. My show is on.
So, are you pro or anti-Valentine's Day?
My birthday is February 13th, so it's the day before Valentine's Day.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. So growing up, it would always be on the table, my happy birthday card and then a box of chocolates, and I'm anti-Valentine's Day. Simply for that reason. Thanks, Mom and Dad. My mom watches this.
As someone I deeply hate, are you pro or anti-Valentine's Day?
I love the discounted chocolate that you get after Valentine's Day. So while I'm not a fan of actual Valentine's Day, I love the gifts that it gives me afterwards. Like if it's like Valentine's Day is good if you're hanging with the homies, but I feel like as soon as a romantic partner comes in, it's like, I don't know, it gets harder.
Please tell me how one celebrates Valentine's Day by chilling with the homies.
Okay, so you chill with the homies, you all go to someone's house, and you watch bad rom-coms, you make out.
With the homies?
Don't put words in my mouth.
Well, you know that you can't out-Riz the Rizzler.
That was on TV.
Anti, because I feel like you can show love any time of the day, like any season. It does, like, there's no specific time frame on that one day. I don't get it. And also, like, my birthday's a week after, so it's like double up. So it's like I get less shine on that day. So Valentine's gotta go.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you. Show love to the people born in February. It's not that hard. They got 28 days, dude. It's so easy to remember. Please remember.
I think when I stop hating happy people, I'll be pro. But until then, I'm pretty anti. I think something we should do is if you have a male friend, they have to buy you a Valentine's Day gift. No ifs, and or but. And even if you've talked to a male in the past year, just to say hi, or if you've like bumped into him and like gave him a concussion or whatever, mandated Valentine's Day gift from him, period.
As a man that is severely broke, what should I do?
File for bankruptcy and suck it up.
I'd say I'm pro Valentine's Day. I think it's a fun holiday if you make it fun. I mean, you don't have to just celebrate it with a partner. You can also hang out with your friends, and it's also a really good excuse to buy chocolate.
The day after?
The day after is great.
I think I'm pro. I'm like almost towards not pro, but I think I am pro just because it has a lot of good candy. I love the little like love tarts that they have. Very specific, but I like it a lot.
So what's leaning you towards not being more anti-Valentine's Day or almost being anti?
Everyone bragging. That makes sense. I see the 20 Instagram stories and it's very annoying, but I've trained myself at this point to click through all of them.
Those are some lovely responses. We always love hearing from the style community. So Patrick, with that, I have to ask, what are your opinions on Valentine's Day?
Hear me out. I really, really love the aesthetic of Valentine's Day. I love the reds, I love the pinks, and I love the feeling of people just being happy and in love, and I think it's beautiful because I think the world needs a lot more of that these days. Heavy on that. But I don't know, I feel like the only downside that is really like negative per se is everybody being, flaunting everything that they have on social media, which draws in, it's actually a great day to just take a step back from social media, maybe don't scroll because, the algorithm will really push it up there to make you sad. So maybe it's a good day to decompress and push that aside. Maybe do some journaling, something like that. Take it as a self-care day, self-love. I think that's important on Valentine's Day. Lucas, what do you think about Valentine's Day? Are you pro or anti?
So as someone in a relationship, unlike you, I enjoy it as an optional holiday. Definitely ew, capitalism. Ooh, ooh. Now, when you're with someone, it's a nice optional holiday where if you choose to celebrate it, it's a nice day of just getting together. Remember, viewers, I've been saying this for 3 years. Half-price chocolate.
Half-priced.
Wait till the next day, walk over to your local grocery store. You'll get the good assorted packs for very cheap. Listen to me. Your partner will love it too.
Especially in this economy.
Boo, but kinda yay capitalism in this case.
Yes.
I think we need to shut up and go back to the studio.
Yeah, let's go spread some love in the studio.
With us!
Yeah.
Those are some hilarious responses. It's always a pleasure to chat with our fellow explorers. It's also a pleasure to make it into the new year. Still can't believe Genesis sabotaged me like that. But let's ignore it for right now because we still have to cover everything else going on in entertainment.
On February 1st, the 69th Annual Grammy Awards took place, and we have so much to recap. So let's do a crash course. Kendrick Lamar became the most awarded artist of the night, taking home 5 awards, including Record of the Year, with collaborator SZA. Bad Bunny took home a history-making Album of the Year, making it the first award of the Spanish language. Notably, other awards of the night went to Billie Eilish for Song of the Year, for Wildflower, and Best New Artist for Olivia Dean. Steven Spielberg reached EGOT status, and Bad Bunny and Billie Eilish used their speeches to criticize ICE and immigration authorities. The night also held performances by Sabrina Carpenter, Tyler, the Creator, Lady Gaga, Cat's Eye, Addison Rae, and more. The internet also capsized after Chappell Roan made her appearance on the red carpet. Users found her appearance quite, quote, shocking and appalling, end quote. Roan's makeup artist went on to reveal that most of what was shown was actually prosthetic and not real. Now to switch, the 83rd Golden Globe Awards were held on January 11th and were hosted by Nikki Glaser. To quickly recap, Netflix's Adolescents took home 4 awards, with The Pit and The Studio following close behind. Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters also took home Best Motion Picture Animated. This year also brought forth a new category for Best Podcast, which ultimately went to Amy Poehler for her podcast, Good Hang.
I love pro wrestling, and recently there's been much drama surrounding the industry and how retirement matches are held. On December 13th, John Cena wrestled his final match against the ring general Gunther at WWE's Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. A center element of the story revolved around how Gunther had defeated Goldberg in his retirement match just 5 months prior. The crowd erupted as the two went back and forth before Gunther made John Cena tap out, something Cena had only done 4 times in WWE, with the most recent occurrence being in 2004. The match received harsh criticisms from fans on social media, created conversation around the question, should it become more common for wrestlers to win their retirement matches? Arguments went both ways, with some saying it would make for happy moments, and others saying that the opposing talent would not be able to benefit from the retirement match. This debate continued weeks later in New Japan Pro Wrestling, when Hiroshi Tanahashi took on longtime rival and returning guest Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 20 at the Tokyo Dome. The match presented itself as a story-filled epic. Tanahashi fought through underhanded tactics, with Okada finally pinning him after having to bring back his pure athletic style he used before the company to move to America. The match received high praise from fans on social media, with many saying that it was everything John Cena's retirement match should have been. However, the conversation about retiring wrestlers continued. Going back to WWE, on January 31st, AJ Styles wrestled his retirement match against Gunther, the same man that wrestled Cena at WWE's Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. The two had an impressive performance, with Gunther tapping out Styles. Again, the same criticisms from the John Cena retirement match occurred. again from fans on social media. I find this whole story to really illustrate an element of pro wrestling industry that I love, that being how every result from a show has to not only keep the fans happy, but also keep them wanting more. However, the audience's needs evolve over time, forcing industry standards and traditions to change with them. Patrick, please change the subject before I talk about pro wrestling more than I already have.
The Seattle Seahawks went head-to-head against the New England Patriots during the Super Bowl this year, with the Seahawks taking home the trophy. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering, wait, what about the halftime show? Well, don't worry, because it was unforgettable. Bad Bunny took to the Super Bowl halftime stage to perform a total of 14 songs. His set also included special appearances from Cardi B, Pedro Pascal, Karol G, Jessica Alba, and many more. Bunny even brought out Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga to the stage to perform songs of their own. But what made this performance even more special was the story behind it. The importance of Bunny's set was to highlight that there's more to America than the 50 states everyone's used to. In fact, America also consists of Canada, South America, and more. So, Bunny's goal was to communicate this through the lens of Puerto Rican culture. The performance kicked off in a field of sugarcane, which was notably Puerto Rico's cash crop, where he walked through different generations of laborers and vendors. Of course, this ultimately led to him on the roof of a La Casita, also known as a traditional Puerto Rican house. Notably, the performance also hosted a live wedding on stage. That's right, an actual couple tied the knot during this performance, celebrating love at its finest. As the performance continued, Bunny also danced alongside Lady Gaga, gave his recent Grammy Award to his younger self, played by Liam Conejo Ramos, and gave the spotlight to Ricky Martin, who was seated in a recreation of Bunny's 2025 studio album. But that's not all. Bunny then climbed on top of sparking utility poles, which was a nod towards the inequalities and lack of care towards Puerto Rico and other Latin American countries. And to top it all off, Bunny concluded his performance by saying, "God bless America," and bring out dozens of flags, while naming the same dozens of countries behind him. A billboard that read, "The only thing more powerful than hate is love." And honestly, he's right. I could go on and on about the meaning behind literally every detail hidden in his performance, but I'll leave you with the spark notes. If you haven't seen the performance for yourself, be sure to check it out on YouTube via NFL's official page.
If you're looking for some bite-sized stories to read this Valentine season, I highly recommend checking out this Korean-centric series of social media posts from Hyundai. Yes, you heard correctly, I am talking about the car company. For context, they recently came out with a line of compact electric cars that are built with a feature called Mr. Pix, a playful AI assistant character that drivers can interact with. To promote this to millennial and Gen Z audiences, Hyundai's marketing team decided to create content based off of Korean webtoons. The story itself is straightforward and uses cliches, but the inclusion of Mr. Pix does make for funny little bits. If you get the opportunity, go to Hyundai's social media page to give them a read.
I don't know if I'll give him a read.
And I can't believe it's the end of our show already.
Yeah, same. Fortunately, for the love of Backstage Pass, it's forever. And there's a special place you can connect and keep up with us. Social media.
Get out your phone and follow us on these various platforms seen on your screen. Give us a follow, leave us a comment, and let us know if you have any suggestions. Plus, you can check out exclusive content, including hilarious blooper reels and other ways to get involved. So make sure you're following us. If you don't, you'll be a single Pringle like Patrick. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Lucas Alvin.
And I'm Patrick O'Hara. We'll see you next time right here on Backstage Pass.
Oh, God.